Yo, what up guys, OPTCG Daniel here, back at it again with a deck profile video. Today we're gonna do Queen. Queen is a really annoying leader, but also really fun to play. Don 1, when attacking, if you have a total of 4 or less cards in your life area and hand, draw 1 card. If you have a character with a cost of 8 or more, you may add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life instead of drawing 1 card. So basically, if you have 4 or less and you swing without having an 8 cost on the field, you can draw a card, but if you have an 8 cost on the field or higher, you can just gain a life. So you can constantly stay alive, loop your life, and you can do some very annoying stuff with this leader. And especially with the new cards in OP06, this deck got a little bit better. It's still really off meta, but you can definitely annoy and win some games from this. But yeah, let's go straight into deck profile. And this deck profile I found on Twitter, and I tried it. It was really fun. So I think the original creator of the build was from Team Seafood King. It was Hanbu or something. Hanboon. SVK piece of meat. I'm sorry if I say that incorrectly. But yeah, let's go right into deck profile. For our 1 cost, we play 4 times Kaya. So Kaya is of course our 2k counter, but also on play, draw 2 cards and trash 2 cards. So we do play cards that let you stack the top 5 of your deck. So if you need a card or you have 2 cards in your top 5 that you need to have in your hand, you can stack them, play this, draw them, and then discard 2 other cards, maybe like bricks. So you can just adjust your hand, get the cards you need, and if not, just use for the 2k counter. Then we go into the 3 costs. We play 4 times Charlotte Brûlée. So Charlotte Brûlée is here for the annoying blocker from life. It's a blocker and the trigger is play this card. Yeah, that's it. It's a really expensive blocker. It's a 3 cost, 1000 power, so it's kinda easily removed. But still, if you have this from life or you play this at your 6 Don turn or 7 Don and then you go to your 8 or 9 Don turn, you can play Katakuri, put it to life, so you can play around that. But still, with your leader ability, you can stack the top 5. I mean, with a card, you can stack the top 5, and then with your leader ability, you can put this into your life if you know what your top card is that you will put into your life. So you really have to think about your top 5 cards and how to get them into your life or to your hand. Then for other 3 costs, we of course also play Boa Hancock. Boa Hancock is exactly the same. It's also just a blocker, 3 cost, 1000 power, blocker, trigger, play this card. So it functions the same as the Brûlée. So if you know it, you can get it into life with your leader ability or just play it with the Katakuri, etc. Then for our last 3 costs, oh no, we have more 3 costs, never mind. We play 4 times Capone Gang Beji. So like I said, you know with your top 5 cards, you can put them into life and then you can trigger this and then up to one of your opponent's characters, or leaders cannot attack during this turn. So if they go for lethal but you know this is in your life, then you can just cancel the attack. And if not, 2k counter. Then for our last 3 costs, we do play 4 times Don Quixote the Flamingo. So like I said, this is a card that lets you look at top 5 cards of your deck. It's a blocker. On play, look at the 5 cards of your deck, rearrange them in any order you want, and then put them at the top or at the bottom. So you know your top 5 cards and you know what you will draw and what you can play with your other cards or what you can get into life. So you really have to think about this deck. Then for the 4 costs, we do play 2 times Charlotte Pudding. So Charlotte Pudding is here because you don't really have early game plays. You can play the blockers, but if you don't see them, you will probably only have the high cost in your hand. So you can just attack with your leader for 8, for 10, for 11 in the first couple of turns, and then your opponent has a big hand size, and then you just play this. They shuffle their hands, draw 5. So be mindful on when to use this, and if not, just a 1k counter. Then for our 5 costs, we play also 4 times Drake. So Drake is the exact same as the Don Quixote Flamingo. It's a blocker, and on play, look at top 5, rearrange them, keep them at the top or put them to the bottom. So it's exactly the same. And 1k counter, and it's also a high cost blocker. So you can sit behind it in late game. And now we go into our 8 costs. We play 4 times Charlotte Katakuri. So Charlotte Katakuri is of course really good because you can just remove 8 or lowers from the field, add it to the top or to the bottom of your opponent's life. So against Akatsuki, you can play this. You can put the Gecko Moria to the bottom of their life, face up, so you know, okay, their last life is a Gecko. So you can play around that has no counter. So you usually just want to remove annoying cards or cards with no counter, put them at the bottom of the deck. I mean, of the bottom of the life. So you know, okay, I can play around that because I know their last card in their hand is on a counter. So you can just calculate their hand and do stuff. And if not, it's just a big swinger. If you cannot afford this card, you can also play the 8 cost from OP05 June Giant. It's an 8 cost, 10k vanilla, and it has 1000 counter. It's also a really good card, but then this has removal, so that's why it's really good. And then for our 9 costs, and basically the entire combo of this deck, we play 4 times OP06 Secret Sanji. So this card is really, really, really good in this deck. And also because you know your top 5 cards, so you can use it at your 3 or 4 dawn turn, look at top 5, and then you can see this card with Katakuri in your top 5 cards, or with Yamato or something else. And then you just put this to the last 4 or 5th card from the top. So you know, if you draw this, you can play it, and then you have the Katakuri here or the Yamato, and then you can play it directly. So you have to know in which order you stack your deck. And then if you see this, so you can plan out ahead till the 9 dawn turn if your hand is good. So you can just draw this, play it directly, and then refill the card behind this, which is an 8 cost Katakuri or a Yamato, and you can play it for free. But yeah, let's read this card together. I bought this card for way too expensive, just when Marco was announced. I bought them for like 80 euro each, and now they are like 40, 50 euro each. RIP. But yeah, on play, reveal 1 card from top of your deck and play up to 1 card with a cost of 9 or less other than Sanji, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck. So if you don't know, if you play this and it is a 10 cost which you don't run, or a event, you have to bottom deck it, but every other character under 9 you can play from this leader. So you will almost always hit. Using it blindly is risky, but still. But yeah, if you play this with Katakuri, Katakuri can remove something, and then you have 2 big bodies on the field. That's hard to remove because a 9 and an 8, and then you have some big bodies you can swing. And then for our 9 cost, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. It is 4 times Yamato, and I still don't have a playset alt arts of this, even though I'm a big Yamato fan. But yeah, this card is also really good. You can play this from your hand or with the Sanji, and you can get the value out of it. But still, on play, carry up to 1 of your opponent's cards with a cost of equal or less than the total of you and your opponent's life cards. Then if you have 1 or less life cards, add up to 1 from top of your deck to the top of your life. So you play this, you KO something equal to your life together, and you can regain 1 life, and then swing with your leader, you can get another life. If you are under 4, of course. Hand or life size total. So yeah, you play 12 big bodies, and you can play 8 of them from the Sanji, so that's really nice. And you can just keep gaining a life and keep staying in the game for a long time. And then for our events, we play 4 times You're the One Who Should Disappear. So we play a lot of big bodies in our deck with no counter. So if you need to, you have discards, you can discard a non-counter. And then of course counter, you may trash 1 card from your hand. Up to 1 of your leader or character gains CS and power during this turn. But you primarily want to use it for the trigger effect, because you know what cards are on the top of your deck, so you can put this with your leader ability into your life. And then the trigger is, if you have 0 life cards, so this has to be your last life, you may add up to 1 card from top of your deck, add it to your life area, then trash 1 card from your hand. So the entire goal of this deck is just to stay below 4 hand size and life together, and then just play the Doffy or the X-Drake, and then look at top 5, swing with your leader, put the life gaining cards on top of your life, and then just try to stay alive for a long time and just beat them down with your big bodies. Then for our other event, we play 4 times Gum Gum Red Rock. So the Katakuri can only get rid of 8 cost or lower, and if they have a 10 cost Mom, they have a 9 cost Whitebeard, or whatever the youngsters these days play, you can play this to remove it, because this main place up to 1 of your opponent's characters at the bottom of the owner's deck, so you can hit everything, and then trigger is place up to 1 of your opponent's character with a cost of 4 or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. So those bodies you cannot remove, you cannot swing into, just play this, remove the threat. And then for our last card in the deck, which is really, really funny and really good against Akatsuki, but basically against all decks, basically. It is 4 times Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. I only found 3 copies, couldn't find my 4 one, so ignore this. It should just be 4 of these. But yeah, this card is really good. So whenever they have a big field, you just play this. Main plays up to 2 characters with a cost of 6 or less at the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. And the trigger is plays up to 1 character with a cost of 5 or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. So when you're at your 7th dawn turn, play this, you remove 2 bodies, and then at your 8th or 9th dawn turn, depends on how many dawn you are, of course, you can play the Sanji with a big body, and then you have just a free board to go ham on or just remove some annoying blockers, like your opponent plays out a Sabo or a Borsalino, which are hard for us to remove because our Yamato can KO them. So you just play this, goes to the bottom deck, and then you have a full board to swing into or swing for life. So yeah, that's it for this deck profile of Queen. It's a really fun deck. I played it on a sim a lot today. I had a lot of opponents just disconnect and rage quit, especially Moria and Sakasuki. But if they have the removal, they can remove everything, so it's kind of annoying. But yeah, it's a really fun deck. Try it out, and shout out to Team Seafood King for being really good players, and also for, I'm sorry if I slaughter your name, Hanboon, Seafood King, piece of meat. Thank you for showing the list, and I hope my viewers will play it and enjoy the list. But yeah, that's it for me. If you guys like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike. If you want to see more content, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.